What's up, gamers? You got TigerChainsaw. In my last two videos, I reviewed the original God of War from 2005 and God of War 2 from 2007. And now it is time to put a bow on the original trilogy with my review of God of War 3 from 2010 on the PS3. Now, gamers back in 2010, I think were so anticipating this epic ending to the trilogy. God of War 1 and 2 set up such an incredible story, and in 3 we got to see how it all concludes. So that's the video for today. Now, if you are a first-time viewer on this channel, or if you just haven't yet, make sure you hit that sub button because I've got tons of game reviews on this channel ranging from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and yes, the PS5. So make sure you hit that sub button so you don't miss any game reviews on this channel. All right, let's see if Kratos and the Titans get revenge on the gods in my review of God of War 3. After the first two God of Wars, I can't imagine other games that were as hyped as God of War 3, especially because it was the series' first outing on the PlayStation 3. Santa Monica Studios and Sony teamed up again and released the third game in 2010 to massive critical and commercial success. Kratos returns to strike his vengeance on the Olympian gods with the help of the Titans. How does his third adventure stack up against the first two? A new power is granted, the ability to forgive? But will Kratos use it, and will he still excel in God of War 3? Let's get things started first with the plot, but be warned, spoilers are ahead. Before I jump into the plot of God of War 3, gamers, if this is your first time watching this series, I do recommend that you check out my reviews of God of War 1 and God of War 2 to get caught up on everything that's going on in this series. But if you are, let's go ahead and continue with the God of War 3 plot. Picking up from the second game, Kratos has made a pact with the Titans to kill the gods on Olympus. The third game starts as Kratos and Gaia arrive on top of Mount Olympus and they quickly kill Poseidon. Already, this is so cool. Poseidon's death results in the oceans flooding around the mountain, and their next target is Zeus, who Gaia actually raised as a child. But he is so much tougher than Poseidon. But he is able to push Kratos and Gaia off Mount Olympus. Now, Gaia catches herself, but Kratos isn't so lucky. He's asking for Gaia's help, but she shuns him and claims that he was nothing but a pawn for her and the Titans. We'll see if that comes back to bite her in the ass later. Anyway, Kratos falls into the water beneath Mount Olympus and floats into the Soul River that leads to the underworld. His power is drained and he loses all of his weapons. Weakened and clinging to life, Kratos finds Athena's spirit, who tells him she is now a higher being with a new vision of the truth. She tells Kratos in order to kill Zeus, he must put out the flame of Olympus and defeat him. As long as Zeus rules, mankind will have no future. And as a parting gift, Kratos receives the Blades of Exile from Athena before she disappears. Making his way through the underworld and completing numerous quests, Kratos finds Hades and kills him, releasing the souls of the underworld in the process. Kratos then makes his way back to Mount Olympus and finds a wounded Gaia begging for his help. Now, we all know that Kratos is a very forgiving and merciful person, but to my utter shock, he cuts off Gaia's arm as she falls from Mount Olympus. Later, during his climb, Kratos comes across Helios, the god of light, or maybe the sun. Either way, he's important for daylight. Helios is battling a Titan, and Kratos interrupts this to fight him, and he shoots Helios down. The death of Helios plunges the world into darkness, but Kratos literally rips the head off of him and uses it to light his path. How epic is that? The next several hours of gameplay includes Kratos killing or interacting with various Greek figures such as Hermes, Athena, Hercules, Kronos, Hera, and Aphrodite, who you know Kratos was just going to rail. He does, and like a cuck in the corner, you watch. During these battles, Kratos discovers that he needs to find the real Pandora to open up her box to give him the power to kill Zeus. The box is protected by flames and only Pandora herself can open it. After rescuing her and bringing her to the box, Pandora sacrifices herself to reveal an empty box. Zeus crashes the party and then begins to battle with Kratos. Meanwhile, Gaia has climbed back up Mount Olympus and tries to kill both Kratos and Zeus, who defeat her before continuing their fight. During the climax, Kratos stabs Zeus with the blade of Olympus against Gaia's heart. It is believed that Zeus is dead until his spirit attacks Kratos, causing him to lose his powers and his weapons. Kratos goes into a trance where he is then visited by Pandora and then the spirits of his wife and daughter, who he slaughtered long ago. Finally, in a touching moment, he's able to forgive himself for his wrongdoings and his terrible sins. Kratos snaps out of his trance and kills Zeus once and for all. After that, Athena appears and asks Kratos to return what he took from Pandora's box. It's revealed that the box was actually not empty, but it had hope in it, and that manifested into Kratos. He decides to stab himself with the blade of Olympus, and he releases the hope from his body to the race of man. Kratos then wanders off, leaving a trail of blood and disappearing. Simply put, this is one of the best trilogies in storytelling. God of War, right from the start, at the beginning of the first one, I was hooked. And then you got to see Kratos take his revenge on Ares before taking his vengeance on all of the gods in Mount Olympus with the help of the Titans. And God of War 3 wrapped all of that up with this massive political war between all of these ancient Greek figures. It was simply amazing theater. The God of War series has always had fantastic boss encounters, and with every installment, the boss fights become more and more epic. During my God of War 3 playthrough, this trend continued as I took down Olympian gods one by one. One of the more clever ones that I really enjoyed was the fight against Hades in the underworld. Hades doesn't try to kill Kratos, but instead tries to snatch away his soul with his weapon, slowly pulling at it as the battle rages on. It's clever, and it shows the care that the creators used when crafting this world. Now, something that I did not like, and it's unfortunate because it seems like every God of War starts with Kratos being stripped of his powers so easily. It'd be nice not to have to work your way back to full strength, just like the last couple of God of Wars, but you'll be leveling up, just like you did in the first couple, by hacking and slashing your way through various stages, solving puzzles, and collecting objects to power up Kratos. Just like in the previous installments, you can find chests littered about to pick up orbs and other power-ups to, yes, influence the power of Kratos. And just like the other entries, you'll be able to have different weapons and use magic to defeat your enemies. But unlike the earlier games, God of War 3 lets you swap weapons instantly during a combo without resetting it. With this inclusion, it really allows some fluid, quick combat as you can switch between the Blades of Exile, the Claws of Hades, the Nemean Cestus, and the Nemesis Whip. This really gives the gameplay of the combat so many different options as you're fighting a variety of enemies all at once. You don't just have to stick to a weapon mid-combo. You can switch between it, and it really pays off. Another cool thing is that the magic that you use isn't actually Kratos' magic. This magic comes from the weapons, meaning that each weapon you have has a different magic attack, as opposed to the previous entries where the magic was actually tied to Kratos. So when you summon souls or do a shockwave slam, it's coming from the weapons, not Kratos. This was another awesome inclusion. And you guys know how much I love the Blades of Chaos. I mean the Blades of Exile. And another new thing that you can do with them is grapple enemies. You'll be able to grab them with the chains and pull them towards you or swing them around. This added another layer to the combat and helped you to defeat enemies in different ways. One of the last things that I have to say about the gameplay or overall presentation of God of War 3 was just simply how impressive the graphics were on the PS3. Yes, the PS3 had been out for a couple years now, but the sheer size of the battles, you're gonna be battling the Titans on their bodies, on these huge environments. The graphics were drop dead gorgeous. I constantly found my jaw on the floor as I was going through these environments due to simply how gorgeous and breathtaking they were, as well as simply how epic they were. Aside from the battle, the puzzles do return, and yes, it was a good break between all of the chaotic action on the screen to kind of solve how you get through this next stage, whether that's moving objects, flipping switches, or swinging on chains. It was a great touch to God of War 3. The conclusion of the trilogy is fitting. I loved the entire saga that was set in ancient Greece, and I believe they gave Kratos a proper send-off with his vengeance satisfied. Kratos forgives himself, and that's something that honestly, I never thought would happen. It also sets the stage for the events of the next God of War series, where we see a much more mature and calm Kratos. From the first game to the third, Kratos faced epic danger around every corner. It was a pleasure to play this series, as Kratos is one of the best video game characters created, and it was a roller coaster to watch his epic arc play out. In the end, I'm happy that he found peace, and I'm even more happy that I was able to experience this tale of Kratos. There was no letdown in this trilogy, as every boss fight was better than the last. It's not often that you cheer for a blood-crazed, mass-murdering, selfish jerk, but God of War had me cheering for Kratos to win. And when he does, God of War 3 scores a 9.9 out of 10. This is nearly a God tier game. All right, gamers, that was my review of God of War 3 on the PS3 from 2010. For those of you that have been watching this series, what is your favorite God of War game from the original trilogy? I love all three of them, but in my opinion, they just kept getting better. And so God of War 3 is going to take the cake for me. But I would love to hear from you guys, especially those that have played all three games. What is your favorite? What's the best thing about that game? Or maybe what's something that you didn't like about this series? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're typing away, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because if you think I am done with the God of War series, well, you're wrong. I got quite a few other God of War games to review, and I've got plenty of other games that I already have reviewed on this channel. So hit that sub button so you can catch all of that. Speaking of watching game reviews, I did just review God of War 2, and that's going to be coming up next, so make sure you catch that if you haven't. Gamers, thanks for watching, and make sure you play a video game today.